The world's gone mad. Europe's gone mad. Not to get too political on the podcast, but
What if there's a market crash and stuff? I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I'm the only one
Yeah,
who's
yeah.
not going to lose
Yeah,
their money.
yeah.
It's the best wealth building opportunity of our generation. You don't need to go to uni and spend 50k learning some 5-year degree or PhD or something.
I haven't lost this month. If you look on my Notion journal, it's just win, 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 win.
Would you teach people your edge, or would you keep it to yourself?
Right now, no.
To be a top trader it's almost like being a performance athlete. You know, you have to
That's it, yeah.
get your head in the right place. So if I was 17, 18 and I said to my parents, oh, I'm going to start trading full time,
I never told them. If you've got a job, finish your working hours, get straight on the charts, spend 2 to 3 hours a day, whether you're on YouTube or whatever, just looking at the chart, looking at price, how it moves, why it reacts off certain levels. You only get one life. Do something with it.
Hello and welcome back to the Alpha Futures YouTube channel. Today we're interviewing Callum, a futures trader who has made over 50k in payouts in his trading career from prop trading. And today we're gonna interview the guy and find out how he did it, what we can learn, and just hear his story about how he started and where he's going. So Callum, welcome to the channel.
Thanks for having me.
No, very, very excited for this one. So I always say, you know, the best place to start a story is at the beginning. So
Yeah.
how did you get started with trading?
Believe it or not, I was playing a game called Ark Survival Evolved, and I met a few friends on there, and they were already doing it, and they introduced it to me. And from there, I think it was in about July 2023, I remember, hopped on TradingView, downloaded it, and I was just trying to trade Bitcoin, and I was making money off demos on practice accounts on TradingView, and I fell in love with it. Decided this is what I wanted to do, and stuck at it for 2-3 years. Here we are today.
Amazing. So, I mean, you said you're only 20 now. So when you started, you were what, 17, 18?
I was about, I was turning 18. So obviously you can't trade prop firms till you're 18.
Yeah.
So I thought best I'd get a month in, 2 months in, see what I can do, and then turned 18 and started it.
I wish I'd started when I was like 15 and not like just demo trading, because in essence, it's a video game, right? Like you're staring at a screen, you're seeing price go up and down, you've got to make decisions. And I think, man, if I just sort of started just demo trading since I was like 15, by the time you turn 18, you've got all this practice. That's then you can shoot.
You're ready to go.
So any 15-year-olds watching this, just put down the Call of Duty and other stuff and just get on TradingView, man. It's the game to play.
Yeah. 100%.
So the friends that you met that trade, they still trade, you still stay in touch with them?
Yeah, they're still with me. We still talk about it. We don't necessarily have the same strategy. Me and this other person do. He's called Luke. He's a great guy.
Cool. Shout out to Luke.
Shout out to Luke. But yeah, we journal. Journaling's a big thing because if a month happens where Trump, if the markets decide they want to go up or down, very volatile, you need a back testing to help you out. So me and Luke, we hop on a call every certain time and we trade and then we jot it down.
That's good, man.
But yeah, he's been with me since about 2-3 years. So
yeah, it's good because we've got a bit of accountability as well. And
that's it. Yeah. But you need people in the industry to help you out, because you'll miss things on the chart that someone else doesn't miss, and it's you're not. Being alone, to be honest, through the first year I was alone, backtesting myself. We just played Ark and, we wouldn't really talk about it too much. But I think one of us got a payout and we're like, right, this is actually real. So let's actually stop playing Ark.
Yeah.
Let's
lock in.
Let's lock in, as they say. Yeah. So yeah, that's how we got into it.
Yeah, it's funny the kind of similarities with the video games thing, because playing video games could be something that's very lonely. Like you sort of get this thing of someone just sitting in a room and just playing on a computer game and not going outside and being. But then you introduce headsets and Discord and all this stuff, and then all of a sudden it's a social thing, right? And that can be the same with trading. Trading can be a very kind of lonely, solitary thing. You can just be sitting there by yourself in front of a computer all day, or you can communicate with other people while you're doing it, and that's important. I think it makes it more fun, and it maybe even makes it more sustainable, because a lot of people that might get burnt out trading because they're just by themselves. If you've got mates who do it, people you can chat to, community, it adds not just the kind of accountability aspect of things, but also it's just sociable, and it's nice to have people to talk to about it.
That's it. Well, especially during COVID when you've got nothing to do, it was great. But yeah, I was during high school, it was a bit more difficult for me. So games was more of an escape.
Yeah.
It was great. Ark Survival Evolved, what a game, by the way, what a game. The new one's a bit rubbish, but bring back the old Ark. It was cracking. Distracted me very much. But yeah, without that game, I wouldn't be here today. So that's it, isn't it?
This is it.
That's
Yeah,
it.
butterfly effect, man. Like these little, you never know where these things lead to, man. People sit there, oh, wasting time playing these computer games. From that, you learn how to trade forex. You're making 50k. So
there you go.
That's it. Take that, teachers.
Yeah, take that.
Yeah. So as far as actually the mechanics of learning to trade and strategy and how did that come about? Like, what did you play around with at first? How did you finally kind of settle where you are?
Like most people, TJR, shout out TJR, got into the boot camp. What a guy, man, what a guy. I don't think without him, many people wouldn't be here where they are today.
Nice.
He's entertaining, you know, he doesn't bore you to death, and you still learn at the same time. So it's one of them. From TGR, obviously I started using it in concepts on TradingView. I started practicing it. Sometimes it worked. I was using, you know, the classic silver bullet, liquidity sweep, breaker structure, fair value gap. From silver bullet, we started journaling it. Obviously, we saw it wasn't profitable for us, so we changed over, and there's been a few strategies we've tried, but from today, I'm not going to give it away, but I use my own key levels, and then I also use divergences, so like SMT divergences and liquidity sweeps. Divergences are probably the best thing you can use mechanically. It's my opinion, obviously it's subjective, you know. Everyone's different. You might trade something else, you know. Joe might trade something else over there and it works for him, but personally, divergences, SMT divergences are the best, especially for, I don't trade forex, obviously this is futures, but for the S&P and the NASDAQ, divergences are what you need, but key levels as well. You know, if a lot of back testing and you'll figure it out.
That's interesting. I mean, when you said that you tried the silver bullet stuff and you back tested it and you weren't finding that it was working for you, but you think there's other people that kind of make it work.
Yeah.
I guess this is a whole other subject, but what do you think makes the difference there between finding something that works for you versus something that doesn't, or why something might work for one person and might not for a different person?
Well, trading's a psychology game, so it's how you react. Certain strategies have better win rates than other strategies. Silver bullet doesn't have the highest win rate, well, from my back testing anyway. So if I've got a 40% win rate, I'm going to lose my head because there's going to be more times I lose than more times I win. So obviously, if you've got the right amount of risk, it doesn't matter. You can still be profitable on a 40% win rate as long as your win ratio is good. But if I lose, I lose my head sometimes. I'm not perfect. Obviously, I've still got to work on my psychology. But with my strategy, it's a higher win rate. And obviously, during March, God, my win ratios were ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. I remember I was that confident. I went into the Alpha Capital Discord and I said, on Alpha Futures Discord, and I said, right, I'm going to buy an account, I'm going to pass it, and I'm going to do over 10k on the account equity. And I did it within a week, and I got a payout. You can go back in time and have a look on Discord, and I posted it afterwards, and I went to see, and then obviously it was a burner account, so I blew the rest of the 5k. But yeah. Yeah, that's the mechanical side.
Yeah. I mean, what advice would you give to someone who's trying to figure out their strategy or figure out what works and what doesn't? Like, how was the backtesting process for you to find, you know, your key levels, or how did you think, okay, here's a concept I'm going to try, or something else that finally kind of landed you where you are? Because there's so much stuff out there that people can try, and there's so much information.
100%.
So what was it that kind of got you to find something that works, right? Because that's what everyone's trying to do, is find that thing that they can go into the Discord and say, I'm just going to spin up an account for 10k.
It's a lot of back testing, If you've got a job, finish your working hours, get straight on the charts, spend 2 to 3 hours a day, whether you're on YouTube or whatever, just looking at the chart, looking at price, how it moves, why it reacts off certain levels. Go from there. You don't need to buy a course. Most courses are scams, I'll be honest with you. you can buy them. There's a few traders that obviously that are profitable. Usually they won't give the strategy away. Quite simply, they'll give you something different that's still somewhat profitable, that sees results so they can continue selling it. But I usually think of courses as, if you buy cheats on a game, there's a high probability of you getting malware when you download cheats. There's a high probability of you getting scammed when you buy a course. But if you do find the right cheat, you've kind of skipped a long way of working into backtesting and making yourself a better trader, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. I like that. Yeah, yeah. No, I think there are a handful of people out there that are profitable and good teachers and are teaching something
100%.
that's legit.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not the majority.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
yeah,
So,
like I say, to try and weed your way through all of the nonsense to try and find it, you're going to get burnt. So
I'm glad to say I've never purchased a course in my trading career. So
there you go. Yeah, well, this is the thing, man. Like, we live in the information age, right? Like, you can get on YouTube and basically all the information that you could ever need about trading is there. It's just wanting to put in the time to filter through it all and everything like that. But I do think that trading is it's the best wealth building opportunity of our generation, right? The fact that you can learn a skill that basically you can just print money from a computer. It seems like it shouldn't be real, right?
Yeah.
But on top of that, the barrier for entry is so low because you can essentially learn it for free. You don't need to go to uni and spend 50K learning, on some 5-year degree or PhD or something. You can learn for free on the internet. You can practice yourself in your spare time. You can start by getting an account for $50. So you can get a 10K account or something like that. Like, the actual barrier for entry is so low.
Oh yeah.
And yet it's got uncapped upside. And this is the thing, man. It's what makes it worth all the pain and all of the struggling. And because, man, if you can make this work, as you're proof of, man, like,
passing your first account is the best feeling ever. I remember, I don't know how far you're into Alpha Capital's journey, but I remember you did 5K accounts for free.
Yes.
During Christmassy time.
It was, yeah, Christmas giveaway, yeah.
That was the first ever account I ever passed. And I know it was just a 5K, but I was working at McDonald's and I tell you what, I thought I was going to quit the next week, but it's a big psychology thing. When you get funded, it's not as easy as just getting a payout straight away.
Yeah, the hands start shaking, yeah.
That's it. Oh, it's real money.
Yeah. But to reiterate, Alpha gave this man a 5K free account for Christmas and passed it. So it just shows that we say barrier for entry is low. Potentially for zero money, there's people, and we've got records of people making $1,000, $2,000 on a free account. So it just shows if you've got the skill, man, yeah, it's incredible, man. The only way is up. It's actually interesting because when something like the Trump thing kicks off, people always say, "Oh, the markets have changed."
Yeah. Got to adapt.
Yeah. So how did you adapt, and how did you find that what you were doing before? Were you able to kind of just move straight into what you're doing now? Did you have to tweak anything, or?
So I found my strat that works for me today in December. Now, obviously, December.
That's good timing.
Well, yeah, December price action is horrible, as most people know.
Yeah.
So I only really started using it since January. I got my first payout in January at the end of it. Not my first payout. I had a couple small payouts through the year before, but they were. I'll be honest here, that was just luck. And then I got my first proper payout with this strategy in January, and it was a bigger one. Them other ones were about $100, $200. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, like, still a great feeling. But when you hit 4-figure payouts for your first time, you're like, right, this is it.
Yeah.
And then obviously February I did a bit more, and March obviously, and April until today. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So that pivot from not being profitable, not really getting payouts, to now getting one in January, February, March, like, we always say that it's not really something that happens gradually in trading. It's like you're either not profitable or you're profitable.
That's it, yeah.
So once you sort of cross that threshold and the ball starts rolling, then the sky's the limit. So what do you think it was that kind of tipped you over the edge between being a bit break even or hit and miss to actually hitting profitability? more so the strategy, or do you think it's more so how you've developed as a trader?
It's more your results, so consistency. So obviously consistency on your forward testing, so on your journal, as you see. I haven't lost this month. It's just, if you look on my Notion journal, it's just win, 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 win.
Very jealous.
Yeah. And yeah, performance, so payouts, consistent payouts. If you're doing 1 week, you're doing $500 payout, and then you're not getting another payout for another 2 months. I'm sorry, you're not profitable. You're just getting lucky. Whether it's something to do with your psychology or if it's something to do with your strategy, it's something you need to reevaluate. Yeah. But yeah, definitely results on how you determine profitability.
Well, I mean, having this incredible win rate that you managed to find, I mean, I've spoken before about the difference between having like a really low win rate versus a high win rate. And like you say, both can be profitable. Yeah. But one, the high win rate, the momentum that allows you to have, as far as confidence goes, that when you do have losers, that it's kind of, the chance of you hitting a very long losing streak is low, right? Yeah. So it allows you to kind of build momentum and just have those just stacking wins, right? Yeah. Everyone wants to kind of, no one likes losing, right? No one likes actually taking a loss. I mean, it's the hard part of trading. So if you can have a strategy that allows you to take more wins than losses.
It's easier on your psychology.
Exactly. 100%. And I mean, when you started trading futures, obviously you said you're trading NASDAQ and S&P and stuff like that. And before, were you trading like CFDs like that or trading forex? Or?
Yeah, so GBP USD, shout out GBP USD. Yeah. Took a lot of money from me. But yeah, mainly GU and just GU really. Just GU. Yeah. I didn't like EU. Just GU. I didn't like GJ. I know a lot of people trade that and they trade a lot of pairs, but
GJ, they call that the Widowmaker on the streets. I know a lot of people who've lost some money to GJ as well.
Yeah, that's it. Forex. Well, every market goes off algorithms. I know people that have made so much money off Forex. Rob Donor, I don't know if you know Rob Donor.
No.
Oh, he's a great guy, really profitable.
I'll check him out.
Yeah, he's
Forex trader.
Forex trader. Yeah, trades with prop firms. He's quite big channel on YouTube in the trader space.
Okay.
He's really interesting to watch. He does like Road to $1 million in funding challenges. Really good guy. But yeah, I know there's a lot of people that make Forex money from Forex, but every market, bar obviously the corn market, has algorithms. Well, actually, I don't know. I haven't backtested the corn market, but
that's it. But corn futures, let's check it out. Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's always a pattern. There's always algorithms on even news. If you watch news, obviously depending on news, it'll move bullish or bearish, but it'll only go to liquidity unless it's CPI, PPI. You know, the big ones.
Yeah.
But like smaller red folder news, they'll hit liquidity areas and you'll see they'll bounce off, but they don't just keep going down, because that's how the market moves. Yeah.
So do you trade more kind of intraday or like higher time frames, lower time frames? What are you keeping your eye on when you're looking at the charts?
I'll be honest, I don't even use a bias. So I trade AM session. Okay. GMT BST time, it's about 2:30 p.m.
I mean, it's amazing because so many people swear by this sort of higher time frame bias as being the holy grail, whereas yourself, you can just get there on the 1 minute time frame and just trade intraday price action. Yeah, I guess it comes back to what you said about finding what works for you, there's lots of different ways to do this thing. So it's I'm just amazed that you've managed to find something very consistently like that just from experimenting and lots of backtesting. And
yeah, well, it's not, obviously the market's unpredictable. It's not going to happen every day, is it? But it's definitely a strong edge, I'd say.
Yeah, amazing.
I'd definitely say it's a strong edge.
Yeah. So here's a question. So you said that obviously a lot of traders, there are traders out there that are profitable, but they don't really teach necessarily what they do, because this is the thing with like alpha decay, right? Yeah. That when you've got an edge, the more people that use it, it erodes away and stuff. So would you teach people your edge, or would you keep it to yourself?
Right now, no, because I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but usually when more people know about something, it doesn't tend to work
anymore. As well. Well, this is the thing. I mean, like Jim Simons, who ran Renaissance Technologies, it was like the first ever algorithmic trading firm back in the day, and he had all these different strategies, and he said that after a few years, none of them worked anymore, man, because people found out about them.
That's it, yeah.
And that's why people that work there have to sign NDAs and everything.
Yeah, I mean, why do you think hedge funds pay billions for certain, well, millions for certain strategies?
Yeah.
They want to keep it to themselves and make a lot of money off it. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I've always been against course selling. I just
Yeah.
think it's unethical in a sense. Just because far too many people have been scammed.
Yeah.
Especially trade signals. Oh, it's ridiculous. Trade
Yeah.
signals, ridiculous. If you fall for that, you deserve it.
Well, yeah, you've got to ask yourself, you know,
You deserve it.
If someone's a profitable trader and they're there making all this money and they're like, I'll tell you what, I'll just for free out of the goodness of my heart teach you. I'll just tell you buy or sell
For
now.
free as well, for free.
Yeah.
They always go, join my Telegram group for free, and
Yeah.
they join, and then they always offer something, don't they?
This is it, yeah. Nobody's that nice, unfortunately.
That's it. The world doesn't work
It'd be
like that.
lovely to live in a fairy tale, but yeah, for someone to just give you free money
That's
for nothing
it.
in return,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not the way. But if you work for it, you can make money.
But that's life. That's
Yeah.
life. If you work for anything, sales, if you get a sales job, if you're the best, if you think you're the best and you have the best mindset, you will become the best salesman, and you can earn a lot of money off sales. So yeah, sales, anything.
Anything, bro. I say the same thing. If you're like poker players.
Yeah,
There's
poker.
so many people that just go into a casino and just don't know what they're doing, and they just emotionally just, I've got this hand,
Yeah.
I don't care, and this guy's like messing with me, so I'll put in all my money.
Yeah.
There are professional poker players, bro.
Oh,
There are
yeah.
people that go into casinos like a job from like 9 a.m. till 2 p.m., make 10, 20K, and then get
Yeah.
on with their day because...
It's gambling, but with an edge.
Yeah, because they've got an edge, because they're the best, because they're good at what they do, and they're basically taking money from people who don't know what they're doing, which is kind of like trading in a way, right? And if you're the best chess player, you can make... Magnus Carlsen's a millionaire, man,
Yeah.
because he's the best at what he does. So I think that is the thing. If you apply yourself in almost any direction and you're determined and you've got the right mindset, you can be successful, man. But I think trading is the one, 100%. Do you ever trade from your phone? Or?
Yes. So I'll have burner accounts on my phone. I won't ever trade my actual capital.
Yeah.
Because I keep that on my computer. So, yeah, the phone can be a dangerous game if you've got all your accounts on there, especially if you're not psychologically strong.
Yeah.
My psychology's got better over the years, but
Yeah.
no one's perfect.
Well, it's only going to get better. The thing is, there's so many people that say, oh, I started trading with, real capital and live capital and all this stuff, and then I got really nervous. Like, I must have a really bad psychology problem. So I need to go see a psychologist.
Yeah.
But, like, the first time, some top band or singer or rapper or something stepped on stage in front of 10,000 people, they were probably nervous, bro, because it's a nerve-wracking thing to do. But, that band doesn't come off stage and say, I need to go see a psychologist because I was nervous.
Yeah.
They just play again and
They get
again
on
and
with
again
it
and again and
until
again. And
it improves.
eventually, at the end of the tour, when they played over 20 shows in front of 10,000 people, they're not nervous anymore, man. Same thing with trading. It's baptism by fire. You just have to get used to it.
It's not more nerves, I'd say. It's more fear of missing out.
Yeah.
Especially I don't know if some people get nervous when they're trading, but
I used to.
fear of missing out, 100%. Especially if obviously me and Luke don't do this anymore, but if one person wins and the other person loses, it's the worst thing that can happen. It's great for the winner, but for the loser, usually that account has gone that day.
Yeah.
But yeah, me and Luke will just we'll hop in a call. We'll talk to each other, see what we can see, and then obviously we'll trade off what we think.
Yeah.
If we lose, we lose. If we win, we win.
So do you guys trade the same strategy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I found it.
Yeah.
But I thought because my psychology isn't the best, I need someone who can help me out and tell me when to stop. So I brought Luke into it, and we're both making money. So
That's it. Teamwork.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah, this is it. Amazing. So how have you found trading with Alpha Futures?
Great firm. Probably the best rules in the game at the moment. I mean, you can take 15K at once is unheard of in the futures scene. Obviously, great trading rules. Can't really say, can't complain too much. I managed to pass an account in 2 days, and then obviously make money, and the withdrawal hit the next day. Great seeing that confirmation email as well.
Yeah.
But
amazing.
yeah, great firm.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. When the futures prop space is obviously, there's a few big names out there. So when Alpha was like, okay, we want to get to the future space, how do you compete with that? Is you just make better rules, right? If you can go into it and be the firm that people can look at and say they've got the best rules in the game.
Yeah.
And also just having the reputation of like super quick payouts, and I actually haven't heard a bad word.
I haven't heard a bad word about Alpha Futures. I also haven't really heard a bad word about the forex side.
Yeah.
You guys have got a really good reputation. Obviously, some people stay away due to the risk interviews, but it's all subjective. If you've actually got a good strategy, you're going to pass a risk interview.
Yeah.
So
100%. Yeah, this is the thing, man. Like, we know that in prop trading, there's gamblers and then there's traders and people that are just gamblers.
You don't want to lose money as a company because some guy's decided he wants to full put his funded account.
Yeah, exactly.
And lose it all.
Yeah. No, we just want to reward good trading, man. So
that's it.
And the fact that you put so much effort into strategy development and stuff, it shows like that's because you want to be consistent, man. The thing is, you want to be able to be doing this long term for a career. There's so many people that are just like buying an account and blowing it and buying one and blowing it and buying one and blowing it and just thinking, oh man, if I can just hit a 50k payout, I'll be sorted. And they treat it like a lottery ticket, man. It's like turning up at the convenience store every day and buying a lottery ticket and scratching it off and buying one and scratching it off and just hoping that you're going to win. But
that's gambling.
Yeah, trading's a skill, man. If you just put in the work and the time, and it does take a lot of time. I don't know anyone who's been trading for less than several years, like multiple years, who is actually consistently profitable because it's a skill. It's the same with, like I said, you could be like, okay, I want to be a top poker player, and you can study and do all this stuff, but you still need to like graft at the tables for years and years and years until you get the skill level, man.
Are you a poker man?
I dabble, I have to say. But it's funny when you say that, like not to go off on a tangent, but I actually just started off watching poker players.
Yeah.
Because when you see poker players at a casino and they're just sat there and they're not talking, but when you see poker players live streaming, and it's on a delay, they explain and say, okay, this is the hand I've got. I think this guy's got that. I should be doing this and stuff. And you can hear the thought process behind it.
Yeah.
And I'd never played poker and I was just trading, but I realized how similar it was.
Yeah.
And it actually kind of inspired me with my trading to see people that are executing a skill-based edge at a high level with a lot of money at stake and just seeing how they handle it.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot to be learned from professional chess players, professional poker players as a trader. I think it's very, very similar. In fact, there's a guy who wrote a book called The Mental Game of Trading on trading psychology, and he was a performance coach for traders, poker players, and professional golfers.
Right.
Because he said a lot of the times when professional golfers, they're leading going into the last day and they might win it and they're on the tee and they've got to hit this shot, and again, psychologically they're thinking so many people choke. So it's another game where you have to have your mental game on point, and it's funny, there's a lot of different things that have that similarity, and I find that's something that I find it fascinating to see people that can just perform at a high level, man. To be a top trader it's almost like being a performance athlete. You have to get your head in the right place. So
not quite physically, but
mentally,
yeah,
exactly. So what's the plans for the future, man? Like, where do you see yourself in a year's time? We can only dream, but
that's it. Manifestation's a big thing.
100%, yeah.
For the next year in 2026, hopefully, Baby Blue, brand new M2. We'll trade the i20N in. I don't know what it is with Baby Blue cars, man, but just must be my colour or something. Insurance hopefully goes down. Want an M2. Save up for some properties, obviously. You don't want to have all your money in depreciating assets, but You're only 20.
Fun as well.
You're only 21s. Come on. You can't blame me. So, and then hopefully in the next 3 to 5 years, we'll get out of this dump, and we'll move country. Yeah, the world's gone mad. Europe's gone mad. Not to get too political on the podcast, but it's an interesting topic. But we'll leave that for another day.
Maybe a future in, like, say, Dubai or somewhere like that. You don't know what the world's going to look like in 5 years, and you can't really predict it. But the amazing thing with trading is that whatever happens, you can sort of make money, which is it's tough to explain to people that, like, trading, you're hedging against the economy.
Yeah.
So even if the value of your currency goes down, even if there's people look at me as a trader and they say, oh yeah, you're doing all this with stocks and trading and stuff, but what if there's a market crash and stuff? I'm like, no, I'm the only one who's not going to lose their money. So it's quite the opposite, right? So like you say, the world has all these political, geopolitical stuff and everything going on, and this thing with tariffs and the dollar, but if you can keep a level head, then you have a strategy and you know what you're doing, and you read Planter's blog about fundamentals. It explains all this stuff to you, because a lot of it goes over my head. You can navigate these markets, man. You can navigate almost whatever the future kind of throws at you, it's an amazing thing. Like, it's a superpower to be able to trade like that. So
that's it. Freedom.
Yeah, freedom. That's it. You can sit on your laptop in Malaysia and trade, bro, for a living. What more could you want? Living the dream. What advice would you give to someone? Because you started trading, or you started learning to trade when you were like 17, 18. I think it's the best thing that someone can do at that age. If I could go back to anyone who's that age and say, put some time into learning how to trade and everything. But what advice would you give to someone, maybe a young person, starting to trade now? Where should they start? What should they look out for? What advice would you give to yourself 2 years ago?
Personally, I wouldn't change the past, because it wouldn't, if you change the past, you might not be here today. So, obviously, you can say there's a few things you wish you would have done differently, but it's all up to God, isn't it? It's just how life is.
Yeah,
it's God's plan. But my advice: just stay consistent. It's gonna be a tough few years setting out. I mean, some people learn quicker than others. Obviously, it might not take you 2 years. It might take you 4 years. It might take you a year. But just stay on the charts, man. Be obsessed. If you're obsessed, you become a different type of person. It's insane. But the law of attraction, that's definitely a real thing. If you're on your way to work and you're driving, just think about it constantly. Think about, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it. Manifestation, 100% is also a big thing. But in terms of trading, don't buy a course necessarily. There's plenty of content online, such as, YouTubers, TJR, whatever. Find a strategy that works for you. Obviously, people say this all the time, but find a strategy that works for you. Yeah. And then journal it. Journaling's the biggest thing you can do.
You said you use Notion for journaling.
Use Notion, yeah. Mainly use Notion, but you can use all sorts. You can use your notes on your phone if you want. I used to use notes on my phone.
Yeah.
But yeah, journaling, 100% journaling.
What does your journal look like? What sort of stuff are you keeping track of?
So it's quite basic, to be fair. So I'll have the date, win-loss, P&L, and a link of the trading view chart, and then I'll have notes describing why I took the trade, why my TP was there, why my stop loss was there.
Nice. Circling back, what was your plan before you started trading, or what was your parents' plans for you? Because if I was 17, 18 and I said to my parents, oh, I'm going to start trading full time,
I never told them. Best thing is to do is don't tell anyone you're trading, because it puts pressure on you to succeed.
That is the best piece of advice, by the way.
So I worked at McDonald's, obviously. I went to college, went to high school, passed all that, then obviously worked at McDonald's during college. After I finished college, I went into sales, car sales specifically. That is a great place because you work for yourself, essentially. So it's a great place to make a lot of money, work for yourself. So, you don't have a boss that's telling you what to do 24/7. You can take an hour out of your day to look at the chart. It helped me. And then, as long as you're hitting your targets, it's one of them. I was never really pressured to go to university. I never wanted to go to university because university is a scam. You pay all this money and you get a degree, and 9 times out of 10 you don't use it at the end, unless obviously you're a doctor or whatever, lawyer, 100%. But most people go to uni, waste 3 years of their life, and then they're left with
massive bill at the end of it.
A massive bill and a piece of paper that doesn't necessarily mean too much nowadays, unfortunately. But yeah, they never wanted me to go uni. I always had this thing mentally where I had to make my parents proud.
Yeah,
still do to this day. It's a big thing getting the words "I'm proud of you, son" out of them. But that's what kept pushing me forward. Just want to make my family proud, and obviously do well for myself as well.
Yeah.
You want to leave a legacy. You don't want to be some bum that works at a job for 25, 30 years of your life. You retire and you've got a house and an average car outside. What's the point? You only get one life. Do something with it. 100%. Family kept me going. But yeah,
amazing. That's good, man. It's good to have that support network
That's
as
it.
well, man. That's
it.
cool. That's the headline as well, right? Is like goes from working at McDonald's to 50k payouts from a prop firm. Man.
That's it.
Like,
Yeah, you put that on the title.
That's the Cinderella story, man. He's done it.
That's it. But yeah, there's no point being an average Joe.
Yeah.
Well, you need average Joes to flip the burger. Someone's got to do it, haven't they? But yeah, if you've got that mindset, just work at it, man. You've got to believe you're not normal. You've got to believe you're not average.
Yeah, you've got to believe you're destined for something more, man.
That's it. Even though he's not liked, Andrew Tate, he's really good on men's mental health and obviously motivation and discipline.
Yeah.
So if you're not motivated, then there's someone to watch.
There we go.
Another thing, also another tip: manipulate your social media. What's it called? Like your For You page. Manipulate your For You page to intake trading content and obviously inspirational videos as well. Because if you're just scrolling through junk all day, you're not achieving anything, are you?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Me, mentally, I can't sit down for an hour and watch a video and learn something. It's just, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Short form content where I'm flicking through social media. Oh, this works this way. Works better. You learn stuff easier that way. You don't forget it as much because it's educational content. So, whereas if you sit in front of a YouTube screen, a monitor and watch a YouTube video for an hour, you're not going to remember it the next day. Let's be honest. You might remember a few bits, but there's a few
that's
things.
really interesting because so many people say like, "Oh, social media, like get rid of it altogether." But the fact you're saying that you can actually kind of use it for good, right? It's not so much that social media is a problem. It's like depends what you're consuming.
Yes. So I use TikTok and Reels. So I use TikTok for educational, use, trading content, etc. And then I'll use Instagram for entertainment if I want. But I'm hardly ever on Instagram Reels. But when I want to chill out at night, I'm bored, I'll go on Instagram Reels and have a good crack.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, manipulating your For You page is probably the biggest thing that many people don't talk about. Also, output more than intake as well. Produce content more than intake content, but it depends on the person, doesn't it? Really, that's not really trading. Well, it can be trading related, but if you're profitable in trading, you can post content and obviously help other people. And you also make money from that as well. There's instead of intaking garbage, there's better things to be doing with your time.
100%. Yeah. If you can get your For You page just being inspirational reels, stuff that's trading related, mindset related stuff, then
that's it. All you have to do is like posts you see that are educational, and TikTok does the work for you. It's great.
There we go. Hacking the algorithm.
There you are.
Amazing stuff. All right, Callum, we're going to wrap it up there, mate. Thank you
pleasure.
so much for coming down and having a chat. And maybe in a few years when you get that M2 next year, we'll get you in again and see how things are going. But
looking forward to it.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Okay, guys, thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribe, follow us on all the socials, and we'll catch you in the next one.